Hey guys, today I'm going to be creating with this floating frame easel. It has the easel stand that connects directly into the frame, so it allows you to see through the glass without having that full backer on it. I'm going to start by just taking my frame apart so that I have just the glass outside of the middle. Now I did chalk paint that frame white. It originally I believe was gold. I'm just setting these aside because right now I need just the glass piece. I'm going to begin by wiping that down with a little bit of alcohol so I make sure I have all the fingerprints off before chalking. The first transfer I'll be using is the mini buffalo plaid. I love this one. The second one I will be using is the sugar cookies. Now I'm only using the two hearts at the bottom of this. And then my third transfer will be the love heart. And then I'll be doing all three of those in a different chalk paste color. So we have fresh linen, peony, and candy apple. First we're going to do fresh linen for the mini buffalo plaid. So I'm going to stir that up to make sure I have a nice yogurt-like consistency. And I'm not going to fuzz the buffalo plaid because it has such a big area of open screen and it's not super sticky to begin with. So what I find best when using large transfers like this, but only chalking a small section, is to just peel back a corner of the transfer, stick your surface underneath, and then lay it back down. That way you're not worrying about having all of that extra sticky transfer sticking to everything else. It just stays right on its backer sheet. So I'm just smoothing out all the air bubbles before I start. I'm going to grab my mini squeegee and just apply the fresh linen chalk paste everywhere that has my glass underneath of it. And when I peel my transfer back, I want to make sure that I'm only touching the glass in the open areas, not where it's chalked. And that turned out perfect. Now I'm just going to lay my transfer back down on the backer sheet and stick it aside to get washed later. I'm going to use my heat gun to make sure that I'm getting all the chalk paste completely dry, because for the next step we're going to flip it over and chalk on the opposite side, so we really want to make sure it's totally dry. Next up, sugar cookies. This one I am going to fuzz because it's super sticky. So same as when I placed the surface under the transfer on the backer sheet, I'm just going to peel back just enough for what I need to use. I'm only using the small hearts, and I'm going to fuzz it upside down, basically still attached to the backer sheet. I really don't want to pull anything off that I don't have to. So now I'm just pulling it back to put my surface underneath. Make sure we have the opposite side. So we have the buffalo plaid chalked on one side, we want to flip it over and chalk the hearts on the opposite side. This keeps us from having too many layers on top of each other since we are doing 3 different transfers. So again, we want to smooth out all the air bubbles, make sure it's laying totally flat, stir up our peony paste to a yogurt-like consistency, and then chalk all over the open silk screen where just the hearts are. Peel that back to reveal our beautiful hearts, and then grab our heat gun and dry that up again. Now last up we have the love heart. This is probably one of my oldest transfers, and it's actually still really sticky considering how well loved it is. So I'm really going to make sure I'm fuzzing this up super duper well, since I'm going to be layering it over top of the peony chalk paste. Now when I'm smoothing this one out, I want to just kind of trace right over the letters and nowhere else. That way I'm not pushing down anywhere that there's chalk paste underneath where it doesn't need to be pushed down and sealed. We're going to grab our candy apple paste. Now this one is getting low to the end, but I still want to make sure it's a good consistency before I start applying it all over my silk screen. So when I'm peeling up this transfer, I want to be super careful since I do have that peony layered underneath. I don't want to pull up any of that. And unfortunately you can see that we did pull up some of that peony with our red paste. I hate when this happens, but it's a super easy fix. Watch. Line the transfer back up, grab our red paste, and just re-chalk. This time I'm just going to focus on where the chalk paste pulled up the first time and just try to fill in those empty spots. Now that looks a lot better. We'll grab our heat gun and make sure everything is completely dry one last time, and then we can put our frame back together. Make sure the holes for your easel stand are at the bottom, and then place your glass into the frame. This extra piece came with the frame, and it's just to keep the little tabs from scratching up the glass since it doesn't have that full backing. And that's it. I love the floating frame look. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thanks for watching.